What up, bro? We gotta jump into this before I fucking choke or cough or something again. So fuck,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Hey, real quick, Blackout. I finally got some swag in.
Oh, finally came. Why haven't come yet?
Got this is the thing. It's actually very good because I know you see
Mm.
some shit. I've seen it too. You see it on, you're like, oh, bro, this is probably some bullshit. But so I ordered a bunch of stuff. John sent me some stuff, which was very good. And I'm drinking the cold brew, but I got to be honest with you. I'm going to drink this. They have a blueberry crumble. I got to tell you something, bro. I mean, I usually don't go for the flavored coffee, but it's fucking amazing. So shout out to John. Shout out to
Shout out,
Blackout
man.
Coffee, veteran owned, roasted in the U.S. But the biggest thing is huge supporter of the U.S. military and law enforcement. And, just it's crazy when you email somebody and the actual owner will respond to you and say, hey, let me listen to your stuff. Likes the mission of the podcast. Well,
Yeah.
the network, Street Tales Network. So Street Tales and also 56. And then hopefully we'll have a couple more shows coming on. So much appreciation. Got to get your swag, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, I've ordered it. It's coming. We just I'm excited about the crumble flavor. Now, could you just throw it in
Blueberry
the ice?
crumble, bro.
Could you just throw it in the
Yeah.
ice? There we go.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
That's all I need.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
That's all I need.
Well, they
Thank you,
also have hot chocolate. They have tea, which, Mo was happy about because she loves her tea.
Mhm.
And actually, dude, the gear, that was the other thing. Because sometimes, you get gear from a place or whatever. And I've even made some shirts that were like not the best, kind of, almost like a burlap sack, chafe your nipples up. But this is like that soft shirt material. And I'm a big dude, and I think it fits pretty good. So anyway, shout out Blackout Coffee.
Shout out,
John, appreciate you. Bro, you know
Cheers.
what? Actually, see, you know what? We need to have a Blackout Coffee tasting, like with bourbons or whatever, as a little mixer.
No,
Bro,
baby.
bro, little blueberry crumble with some bourbon, or actually, I don't even know what to call it. You can tell it Blackout Coffee espresso martini. Let's go. Let's go. Bro, I don't know. We're just gonna be fucking around. It's like, it's like when food spots or whatever they're like, hey, show me what you can make with this food item. But we'll be like, what drinks can we make with some Blackout Coffee? Fucking love it. This a little espresso, a little Blackout espresso martini. Fucking love it. Hey, well, we would be remiss. Father's Day just passed,
Father's Day.
and
Happy Father's Day to you, brother.
happy Father's Day to you.
Howdy, children.
That's your wear up. You got it. Don't put that voodoo on me.
But so I'm working. I didn't tell you this. So I'm working the other night on Father's Day. I'm just doing a couple traffic stops. I pull this car over from me. They didn't have the lights on. It happens. Right, no big deal. And the guy happens to be a police officer. He's with his wife. He's with his family. We're coming for Father's Day dinner, whatever. We got your lights back on. So I was like, hey man, he knows the whole, whatever. And I was like, I don't even need that. It is what it is. I just trying to say, hey, your lights on, no big deal. And so like, oh no, I appreciate that. I'll be safe. The whole exchange, be safe. Whatever. And then the wife leans forward. She's like, oh, also don't forget Happy Father's Day. And I was like, I got no kids. She's like, oh, my bad. Don't want to put that. I won't put that on you then.
That juice on me, bro. You trying to find me, bro.
I'm not opposed to it. Like, so not for lack of trying, lack of practice. But
a lack of practice. There you go. You don't want nothing wrong to be wrong. Nothing to be up with the swimmers, bro.
Exactly, right? Happy Father's Day, bro. You're a great father and a great example of a dad. But the kids, I tell you this all the time, kids turn out great. They're very, the more I'm around other people's kids, or just kids in general, I'm just like, yeah, parenting is not it's not something I feel like everybody's good at, So, kudos to you for being a great dad because, they turned out great. So
far, so good, man. I got one son, Marine, and not just for being a Marine, but very proud of that. But he's also turning into a good man. He's doing his own thing. And yeah, my baby girl, she started working out with the Marine poolies. So, which is funny because she was like, I think I'm going to join the military too, but I'm definitely not going to be a Marine. I'm going to do something else. But again, it's just one of those things. You start talking to the recruiters and I don't know what it is. I don't know what they do, but the Marine Corps recruiters have got their shit squared away because she's like, yeah, so I started working out with the Marines. I was like, what? I thought you were doing something else. She's like, I just think this would be a better fit for me. And I'm like, all right. I mean, listen, let me just say this. I'm not a recruiter and I was never in the military. I do regret it at this point, but I'm an old man now. What I told both my kids, I said, look, and listen, even if they didn't join the military, I was like, you got to have a plan. But the world is not getting any safer. And there's a confidence that you have when knowing you know how to defend yourself or handle yourself in a situation. I'm like, if you're going to go for it, go big. Marines, look, I feel like I can joke a little bit about the Marines. Both my parents are Marines, my brother's a Marine, my son's a Marine. Adam, who's another co-host on Street Tales, Marine, Lieutenant Colonel. So I have, I'm drawn to the Marine lifestyle. I get it, and I love talking to those fuckers. A lot of them are batshit crazy, but you can say what you want. They all very confident, and they can handle themselves. Like I would go, you'd be like, we could walk down the street together, and I feel like you got my back.
I can't say that. All of the Marines that I've been around, that I do associate with, I'm never questioning their abilities, like you said, to handle themselves. And two, I'm never questioning their enthusiasm when it's time to handle business. So I will give them.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, bro. So didn't mean to make this a Marine Corps ad, but there you go.
Cool. Shout out to the Marine Corps.
Shout out to the Marine Corps. Yeah, it wasn't their birthday. It was the Army birthday. Never mind. Wasn't it their birthday? No.
Yeah.
The Army's birthday / Trump's birthday. Bro, everybody's going to get fired up, bro. Fired up, bro. I love it. I love it.
Well, let's see what we're talking about. So another thing we were talking about this earlier. And I've noticed, I guess it just depends on the day or how feeling is like. But what's your go-to music while driving? Well, I guess 2 categories: go-to driving, working, not working.
So I know we kind of talked about a little bit before we started recording, and I've been thinking because it really just depends, bro. I get in these moods. I don't know if it's weather dependent. I don't know what it is, but it's either going to be like I like driving wise. I like driving to old school hip hop, not necessarily the new stuff. Country music it's funny because everyone's like, oh, of course you listen to country music. That is relatively new for me. Like maybe in the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years, maybe. I mean, I'm 41. So in my mid 30s, I was like, I kind of get it. It resonates with me now. But here lately, so this is what I'm saying. It's kind of like, I didn't want to just pigeonhole myself. It fluctuates. Bro, I've been listening to some like that old, like Motown, like Al Green. Hold on. I took a picture because I was like, yo, I knew the song, but I didn't know the artist. Hold on. It was Solomon Burke. Cry to Me. Bro, if you've never heard it, I was like, what? Who was that? And again, I'm old, so I screenshotted it because I was like, I got to remember that. But that's what, I don't know. That's what, maybe it's been raining. I don't know, but that's what I'm listening to, bro. It just hits me and I'm like, I'll just drive. Now, when I do long distance driving, it's typically podcast for me. Or I'll put it on like shuffle or, what a thumbs up or whatever. That's the other thing. Depends on what platform I'm using. Dude, I could have anything from hardcore drill rap, praise and worship music. I mean, it runs the gamut, bro. But right now, currently, as of today, I don't even know. Do you call that Motown? I don't even know what that is, but whatever.
Yeah, if it's not that, I guess they would call it technically oldies. Oldies?
Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Ray Charles, and now this Solomon Burke. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's I guess you call that. I guess it's still R&B. I guess it's just an older form of R&B.
Yeah, I don't know. Now, difference is when I'm working out, it's not the question you asked me, but when I'm working out, it's either hardcore rap or like, I don't even want to say heavy metal, but like Metallica, shit like that.
Something got some juice to it, some energy.
While I'm doing my 10-pound.
I didn't even think that they're on the working out thing, but I think my leisurely, I'm just like, leisurely drive or whatever, it's probably going to be some R&B. R&B is probably my go-to in most cases. It's weird, though, because when I'm working, that's like the only time I really listen to like rap music per se. Is when I'm like working. It's kind of weird. It's like
really,
yeah, it's kind of strange.
That ain't true, bro. In the fucking gym, you bump that shit.
Well, yeah, no, but I was just about to say when I'm working out, depending if I need some juice, it's pretty. In the gym, it's pretty mixed. You know what I mean? I do it's crazy or not, but I do like that. Listen to slow R&B. I mean, I feel like I'm in a music video. I feel like I'm in a music video. Like the old, I feel like I'm LL Cool J. You know what I mean?
Oh my god! Yes, I do know what you mean.
Getting after it, because the leg day is a slower pace. You know what I mean? The slower pace, slow it down. So whatever, kind of need that. I need that mental escape. Like I said, I'm in a music video. You know what I mean? But if I'm doing like a PR or something, that's probably when I'll give me blind. I get kind of hyped. But other than that, when I'm working, I throw on some fucking Comedazine.
You love that shit, bro.
I don't know why. It's so terrible, but I love that shit. I love that shit. But lately I've been getting into like, I guess it's like different genres. I don't even know what you fucking call it. Surprisingly, no, a lot of people don't know this about me. I like house music. I actually really,
I know.
I really enjoy house music. A lot of people don't really.
Still can't get down with it, bro. But go ahead. I'm listening.
I love house music, but
I know you try to push that shit on me all the time. Like, I don't. It's not for me.
But then they got this like a lot of DJ mixes now lately, where it's like Jersey Club, like Miami bass, a lot of subsets of other things. And I'm kind of gotten it. Not that I'm getting into it, I enjoy it, but it's like it's something like I guess you have like TikTok and like Reels and whatever, like DJs are actually like making these mixes or SoundCloud stuff that you can't just be like, oh, I want to hear this song and mix with this song. You know what I mean? So it's like it gives me that feel of like back when I was in college when you would actually have to like go to the club and like hear the mixes, or like you can only catch it on the radio when they were doing it. So I enjoy that part of it. But
yeah,
I get into it, but I love it. But you need to get into house music. You know.
Well, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. The house music I'm thinking about is that I don't even know how to do it, but fucking glow sticks and ecstasy shit. I'm not down. Yeah. Now, the only exception would be when they do that in the Blade movie. I'm like, yeah, I like that shit. But it's mostly because he's killing vampires. But would you call that house music? Because I don't know what the fuck it is. This is what I'm asking a clarifying question. When they mix the two songs, because they're, I guess you're right. I only see it on like YouTube, TikTok, whatever. I do a lot of it. I'm like, yo, that shit hits. I like that when they like take a beat from one song and interlace it with the vocals to another song. I do like that, but you are correct. There's not like a channel I can go to listen to that type of stuff. Now, is that house music? Because I can get down with that.
Yeah, some of that stuff is house.
I like that.
Yeah, I'll send you one. I just stumbled upon it today. It's house music, but it's a little bit more upbeat. It's more, like I said, it's more. House is still pretty broad, but it's still kind of a definite distinction from like what you're describing. I'm familiar with like techno. Techno's okay, but house is a little bit more rhythm and bluesy as opposed to like the electronic stuff.
Gotcha.
I mean, I'm all into the music, all kinds of the shit.
Sorry, bro. These just hit me, but I forgot I wanted to talk to you about it. Are we good with the music part?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you talking about it reminded me, and I appreciate it. The first one's gonna be a quick one, but I saw it and I started laughing, bro. I don't even know if it's true. This is the part I hate it. So we're not the news. I'm getting it from social media bullshit. So it could be fucking bullshit. But somewhere someone said that Shedeur Sanders described himself as a mix between Michael Vick and Tom Brady. And then the comments, it was one of those things where it got whatever it is, where the comments were higher than the likes, whatever.
Yeah.
And the overall consensus was, yeah, you have Michael Vick's skin color and Tom Brady's speed. I was like, oh, Jesus. Lord. I was like, bro, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Motherfuckers got to take a chance to troll. That's a good one. That's funny.
I don't know if it's even true, but it had like 8,000 fucking comments, bro. And that comment had like 15,000 likes or some shit. I was like, I hope this isn't true, bro.
That's funny, bro. Somebody's trolling me and they go down with them like, I can't even laugh at that. I can't even say. I was like, oh, that's funny. It's a good joke.
But are they both great? Okay. All right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
at least I'm in the conversation, I guess.
Exactly. They're both legends. I mean, if we're doing that, whatever.
You have any comment on that?
I think that kid will be fine. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine.
Shit. Hold on. See, now that we're talking, bro. See, this is why we talk like once a week. So I need to be better at writing shit down. But anyway, I just thought of another one, but we'll get to that one in a second. The other one was a bunch of directors like Martin Scorsese, like Quentin Tarantino, a bunch of directors, and a lot of some well-known, some not as known actors. But they are basically the consensus is Marvel movies are not cinema. He goes, because there's no depth to the character. Cinema is not one-liners and CGI. He goes, I'm not saying it's not entertainment, but that's not cinema. The Martin Scorsese went on to elaborate a little bit more in depth. He was just like, the movies that I make are made for you to go watch on a big screen. And there's a feeling. I want you to have a feeling. He goes, being able to make a movie on a computer and throw it up on a screen, that's not what I got into directing.
Okay.
It could be entertainment.
I'm not going to go to the level and say that that's hate. I think it may rise to the level of...
It didn't feel like hate. It was more like just trying to... maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to make it rise to the level of being a hater, but I think you can definitely tell the difference in eras and in not coming along with the technology, right? Because I'm sure there are instances where he would have a vision of something, right? like, oh man, I have a vision of this, this, and this, but probably wasn't able to do it because the technology didn't exist in order to put that visually on the screen. So whatever medium that you're using, I think it still all comes down to being able to write a good screenplay and a good story, and tell a good story. I don't think it has anything to do with there's a plenty, bro. For example, there's a lot of things that like cartoons or animated shit that has great story. For example, Blue Eye Samurai.
Oh, great. Well, let me ask you this though. Sticking with the Marvel, do you think it's writing when all you're doing is taking, I don't know when the first comic came out, 80 years of literature and converting that into a movie? Like the people who are directing this didn't create those characters; they were established.
Yes, because
their storyline, their plot line, all that shit.
Yeah, you still have to make a good cohesive story. A lot of I read comic books growing up, so a lot of these storylines, I know that they're not what they're doing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DCEU is not all just taking this from this one specific book, making it in the computer, putting it on screen. It's not 100% what's happening. There's some changing of storylines and melding of some things. But you still, even if you do that, right, you still have, and again, a lot of these comic book stories come from older tales anyway. So it's not like, so it's not like these are the comic books are the original stories. You know what I mean? But like they're taking something, reimagining it, writing something completely different, making it their own, doing whatever. If you tell a shit story, it's still going to be a shit story no matter what the character is. But for example, the fucking that Madam Web movie was trash.
Shout out original Green Lantern.
Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Bro. Terrible. Fucking horrible, right? Some of the Fantastic Four movies, horrible, right? And those are beloved
characters. That pained me, though. Yeah, I love that. That was my shit. These are beloved characters. It's almost like, if the writing just doesn't matter, how can you have a bad movie when the shit is a popular comic book? With the writing doesn't matter. Made a valid point, bro. And listen, they get all my money every time they release a movie because I'm always going to go see it. And even if it's bad, I'll still bitch that it was bad, but I still watch the whole thing from beginning.
I still watch the whole thing. It's like, because I love the character. You know what I mean? So I was like, I'm already sold in the character.
And if it pops up on TV, I'm going to watch it again and be like, damn, this movie's bad.
Yeah, this shit's watching it.
Very true, bro. Very funny.
It's terrible. It's horrible. You know what I mean? But,
no, you make a valid point, sir. You make a valid point.
You still got a good shit. For example, you know what? I'll run the topic. I was watching a thing the other day, and they were talking about who has a great character arc. Now, I think this comes from good writing over time. So what fictional character comes to mind think about a good character arc over time? And to me, the first thing I thought of was Vegeta from Dragon.
Yeah.
Who starts off as like, he's the villain of the thing, he's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Over time, he's going to be almost like, you know what?
Well, he's always an asshole, but yeah.
He's always an asshole, but he is him. But his character arc over time has definitely adjusted. And I'm like, see, that's good writing over time. It's a great character. It's still an iconic meme. I still do that shit all the time. Whatever's going to come.
When what's his face smacks his woman, bro, and he rage mode, bro. Shit.
Well, that's how he's supposed to be, man.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gone.
Fuck all that shit. Run it, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else like that. I can't think of anything quite like that description you're making.
But see, I would say Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's it. Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow.
She doesn't hit me the same as like what you just described, Vegeta said. Yeah. But like I think when they tapped into the multiverse, that's when shit really popped off because the good Superman, evil Superman, Superman Prime, and all that shit. Like Superman, his arc, and then I do feel like it was a cheat to Hulk, Red Hulk, Gray Hulk, and all this other shit, but I still like that shit. I'm sorry, I'm rifling through my brain because that's a very good point, bro. That's a good point you made. I like that shit. All right, we're just kind of jumping around, but June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, it is. So what
does that mean to you?
I think you gotta really take stock in and again, it's I don't know why this is right, and I'm sure there's all kinds of reasons why this is right, but I think a lot of men do, I guess, suffer in silence, if you will, right? Because
that's what men do.
That's what men do, right? And I think at the end of the day, it doesn't take away from the fact that things need to get done. So it's like, you're feeling down, you still gotta get done. Feeling sad, you still gotta get done. So it's almost like your feelings or your mental health or whatever is almost kind of not necessarily a hindrance, but it kind of gets in the way sometimes from things needing to get done that still need to get done. So it's and I know there's a stigma about talking about if you're not like a Superman all the time, that it is viewed as a little bit of weakness maybe. But I like to think like Clark Kent is just as important as Superman, right?
Yes.
He's necessary to Superman. You know, Superman can't just be Superman all the time. He's got to be Clark Kent sometimes, right? So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, I've done it. I do it. You know, we don't always, I guess, talk about everything that's there. You know, sometimes, you know, you can kind of tell that there's more than what people let on. And again, that's their prerogative and, you know, and whatnot. But in regards to men's mental health month, like it's okay to take a knee. You know, sometimes like, you don't got to shoulder that shit all the fucking time. You know, you need some help sometimes. But again, that's tough. And I think it's the stigma. I think it has to come from other men for men to have that space in order to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think men innately understand what each other is going through when it comes to not wanting to. And I know women will say, you should be able to talk to your partner. Stop it. Okay? Stop the bullshit.
Yeah.
We all know, we've all seen it. We've all got sisters, mothers. You know, the only woman you'll ever be able to cry in front of and then not change her perception of you is probably your mother. It's probably the only one.
No, for sure.
It's probably the only one. And as much as women say, you know, they want a man to be vulnerable. Come on.
No, you're right, man.
I will just say this. As a generality, that probably is not the way that things go, and generally speaking. Like, it ain't nobody says you had to be all fucking, you know, crying tears and being all soft and, you know, I say soft, you know, and weak or whatever. I think it's important for other men to kind of like check up on your friends, check up on your brothers. Hey, good, and anything, you know, whatever. And most men understand the context of what they're asking. Hey, man, you need to just grab a drink, you know, go do something else, you know, do whatever. And in regards to men's mental health month, I hope that all the fellas are taking care of themselves and have a good support system, people that another men that they can talk to and, you know, bounce some ideas off of, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, I will say I'm going, because I'm writing the book and having to go through each story and each section. Again, it is something we're working on, but most of our guests have been men, and not that it's all mental health related stuff, but when they tell their stories, it's amazing to me that these dudes can laugh when they're, or at least not that it's funny, but they can laugh when they're like, yeah, I was homeless living in my girl's car in her dad's front yard. Like, it was a broke down car, but at least he wasn't in the elements for 5 years. Or when they went to prison, or when they overdosed, not once, but twice. And that one dude, he overdosed on the second time, and his so-called friends were talking about how they're going to get rid of his body, not take him to the hospital, not get him help, but how they're going to get rid of his body. I was like, God damn, bro.
What kind of friends you got?
Fucking scary shit. You know, or talking to some of the military guys and seeing their friends get blown up or whatever, and how they could still have, you know, but they're like, yeah, but you know, they come back from all that and they're like, yeah, I got to go to work. I got to get it right. I got kids. I got a wife. I got whatever it is, right? Yeah. It's almost like they got to put, I mean, not that you should dwell on it. And again, I'm not a mental health professional, but they got to move on, right? You kind of have to say, yeah, that sucked. That was bad. And now I'm here today.
Okay, here I am.
Here I am.
Yeah.
That's very true, bro.
Again, it's not, like I said, it's not that the shit don't matter. It kind of doesn't. And again, I think this kind of comes back to, I think we've all kind of learned this as men in our society. I think that's kind of why the socialization of men in our society and the socialization of women in our society, generally speaking, is a different experience. I can't remember who said it. I've heard multiple people say this, right? But men generally are not seen or valuable until they're able to do something or produce something, right? So you don't really have time to have you don't socialize with the woe is me thing, because that doesn't help your current situation.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for you, right? And if you do that, you're ultimately viewed as weaker amongst your peers and other by doing it.
Not wrong, bro.
Well, like I said, I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that's just the nature of, you know, the biology, the socialization, you know, whatever. But that's kind of like,
yeah,
where it's at.
Oh, for sure.
You know, sometimes, like, man, we don't want to hear that shit. Like, we've all like in the locker room, it's like, oh man, my hamstring hurts, my thing hurts, or this hurts, I'm sore about. Hey man, don't nobody want to hear that shit. We don't want to hear it.
Shut up, bro. My shit hurt too.
I'm hurting too. I'm hurting too. I don't want to hear that shit. We got to get out there. We got to, you know, do whatever. We got to take care of what we need to take care of, so we can, you know, we can all progress forward. So it is it's a less soft experience. But again, like I said,
not as empathetic.
Yeah, exactly. To my brothers, you know, keep your head up, check in, you know, take note of where you're at, write down in your journal, my suggestion for other men, I would definitely say therapy for sure. But I say don't be avoidant of your feelings and the shit you're going through. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge that it's there. And try to make adjustments that you need to take care of it. Whether that be in silence, that's up to you. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But I would say definitely
sure.
don't avoid your feelings and emotions. So the quickest way to make adjustments is just to turn around and face it. You know what I mean? So whatever to our brothers who got shit going on, try to face it head on. It's usually the quickest way.
Yep.
And the most effective way, just to turn around and handle it.
No, for sure.
To my brothers,
Absolutely. Well, one way to deal with mental health is house projects, my friend.
Oh yes, 100%. We
can talk about yours because I don't have any right now, but I had a mountain of house projects over the last 6 months, but currently I'm not doing any. But go ahead, brother. What you got going on?
My most continuous project literally has been the yard. I take a lot of pride in braiding, seeding.
Oh my God.
We did. So I just did and I'll show you the pictures. But we did ripped out all the shrubs and hedges, ripped all that shit out, put down rocks, rock bed instead of all the shrubbery, whatever. It's a little bit cleaner, sleeker look. Did the pavers in there, but all the shit by myself. My next thing is building a bench outside. I guess you call it a bench, a long couch, little bench, whatever.
Bro, I better see a live edge, highly polished. I want to see the little divots for your butt, bro. I don't want to see some 2x4s nailed in with the nails taken out.
Well, you're gonna
be clean as shit, bro. You better figure that out.
Some 2x4s and some cinder blocks. But yeah, bro, the bench is my next thing.
Let's go, bro. Look at you being a handyman, bro.
I saw this one that's actually kind of intriguing to me. Was I love my Blackstone, but it took the Blackstone and built like out of wood, kind of like cut out and made like a outdoor looking kitchen space.
Uh-huh.
With a cutout, open it up so you can change out the propane. When I was looking at that, I was like, so that might be my next thing.
Bro, you barely got a hammer and a screwdriver, bro.
I just got a new tool set, new impact drivers, new drill and stuff.
Shit, bro. You got a circular saw yet?
Circular saw, working bench.
Shit, bro.
Working bench with the slots in it. Come on, bro.
Oh, bro, you're almost an adult, bro. You're almost an adult. You're getting there. You're almost there. I remember you giving me shit when I would be working on my house where I'd be like, bro, just get someone else to do that. I'm like, no, bro. It'd be like you trying to find someone to build your bench for you. But you would give me shit because I was working on my house where you'd be like, yo, just get someone to pay for that shit. I'm like, bro, one, no. Two, in your situation, who are you going to call to be like, hey, can you build me a bench? Nobody's going to do that, bro. Or if they do, it's going to be like $8,000. Or it's going to be some bullshit cinder blocks in the 2x4. There's nothing in between, bro. There's nothing in between.
Are you looking at these benches at like Costco and fucking all these other places? You're like $800 for this shitty ass wicker bench? Oh, get the fuck out of here! I'll make my own shit. It can't
be done. I did make some Adirondack chairs that would hold. Well, they would hold 3 of me, but still, whatever. I fucking love that thing.
I rather just make it. So, yeah, I feel more accomplished and more like a man.
And just so you know, you can't Google plans. They will give you free diagrams on how to build shit. I did laugh because, anyway, whatever. I love when people ask me, like, I love when people are like, well, how do I do that? I'm like, well, let me see. I'm going to use my cell phone and I'm going to Google, how do I do this? Oh, look, there's 78 videos on how to do this question you just asked. My children I'm like, your phone has more than just TikTok and Instagram on it. You do realize that, right? Well, how do I do that? Let me just use, I try not to be too much of an asshole. Let me use the World Wide Web. Let's see here. I'm trying to learn how to do something. What do you know? Step-by-step instructions.
Whoa, look at that. Man, crazy. YouTube. Oh, look, there's also a video for that as well.
Several videos. Oh, shit, bro. No. So for me, I don't have any. I mean, I will say I get it because I am not a contractor and my work is very DIY, but I try. I'm not great at the finishing, but I've gotten better. But dude, the under cabinet trim, under cabinet lighting, painting, so much fucking painting, such a fucking nightmare. So much painting. I mean, the amount of stuff I've had to do for Poopy Boy so he stops eating fucking rocks like a crackhead has been excessive. But I learned a lot. I did learn a lot.
You gotta glue them rocks down.
I tried that, but he's 80 pounds, so he just digs them bitches up. Yeah. Anyway,
I feel like he hit you a little bit. I think he hit you, bro. I think he's just he's doing shit to make it learn.
I was talking about this the other day. Canine handlers. There's only 2 kinds that I've ever met. Correct me if I'm wrong. or if you met someone in between,
Mhm.
they either love their dogs. They're like, he or she, they're great. They're great with my family. They're great to work with, whatever the scenario might be. Or the flip side is, yeah, I guess he's all right, but he's a fucking asshole and he knows what he's doing. It's like, whoa, bro, easy. I know there was one canine handler. He's like, yeah, he's a fucking asshole. Every time I'm like going to climb over a fence, he'll wait till I'm at the top and he'll pull on the leash and make me fall. He's like, well, fucking, I'm like, bro, whoa, easy. It's like there's rage. Right?
You got you know my spots. Have you tried loving him?
Bro, I'm telling you, there was another one. He was my FTO for a while when I was when I was a trooper. His dog, great working dog, but he would bark. Right? Just like you could tell, he was trying to be an asshole. So he'd be like, bro, I need to get coffee. I need to get out of here for a minute. My brain is throbbing. And he would wait till we were out, and then he would get his teeth through the cage and just and rip the fucking headrest to shreds. He's like, damn it, bro. I was like, oh my god, bro.
Like, all right, I'm gonna put plastic in and start spraying you.
Punch you in the head, bro. Oh shit, fucking love that, bro. Well, I had Rooney on. He was a trooper. Now he works for Kenny Bump PD. He's a canine handler. Loved his dog to death. And I'm starting to understand. We're getting on a different topic, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know if they still do it or not, but a lot of canine handlers used to bring their dogs home. They'd stay in the house or outside, the kennel, whatever it is. They wanted them with them because they take work. They have to be worked 10 hours a day. I used to think I wanted to be a canine handler, and I was like, what do I got to do? No, I ain't doing that. It's too much work, bro. I got too much other shit going on. But anyway, I don't know if they do it anymore, but I used to think, man, what kind of monster are you that you would leave your dog, your working dog, at a kennel facility or whatever? I was like, bro, that's your dog. Oh my God, that's crazy. He's like, no, fuck that. He has a kennel for his outside now, but his original dog bit the fucking, it was like, because they're always challenging you, bit the fucking shit out of him so bad, took a chunk out of his like wrist, got infected. I mean, he goes, and he's just sitting there like, he's like, I'm fucking bleeding out. I had to go to the hospital. Like, I'm going to die. And he goes, he didn't give two shits. And I mean, I've heard some other stories. And these are, canines are pretty much treated in law enforcement. They're treated like officers, right?
People.
And I mean, I've had people that I know where they're working canine bit their kid's face. Because again, these are not little loving puppies and little floppy dogs. They are there to bite the shit out of you, and they want to work all the time. And if you get in their way, they will hurt you. That's what and then when I was working on the Secret Service side, I met military ones that had the titanium teeth so they could bite through flak vest, bro, and jump out of planes. And I'm like, God damn. So anyway.
Then you got to think about your crosshair pointers. We have some of those that are EOD dogs. They're just the nicest looking, just the nice little,
I think the hound dogs are like that. I love hound dogs, bro. The bloodhounds.
Yeah, they're just there, bro.
But again, those guys would be like, you better be ready. He gets on the trail. You might be going 20 miles. I'm like, damn.
You'll be going 20 miles.
Because once he's on it, he's not going to stop till he finds it. I'm like, oh. Once again, shout out canine handlers. Love them. Canines, some of the hardest working animals out there. But yeah, no, thank you. Appreciate what you do, but I don't want to be the one. I'm not the one going through swamps, getting ticks, bit by snakes. Fuck all that, bro. All right, bro. That was a weird way to end it, but that's how we're going to end it. All right, bro.